Hey everyone, welcome. Give us a quick moment. We're just about to get started. Wanna let me know, put in the comments. Let me know if you can go ahead and hear me well. Let me know if you can hear me, please. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome. Give us a quick moment. We're just about to get started. Let me know, put in the comments. Let me know if you can go ahead and hear me. Okay, perfect. Okay, beautiful. Can everyone see me? Let me know. Go ahead. Okay. Let me know if you can go ahead and put in the comments. If you can see me, you can hear me, if you can see the slides that we're sharing right now. Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for jumping on. Shout out to everyone within our I Am Prosperity community. Thank you. Today, well, first of all, let me go ahead and just say, for those that, if this is your first time tuning in, I want to introduce myself. My name is Felipe, founder of I Am Prosperity. And today, we are going to share with you a live masterclass like no other. Become the authority and attract your audience, right? I truly believe that if you stick until the end, if you stick until the end, I guarantee you, and if you implement the insights, the strategies that we share with you today, I guarantee that you're going to see an increase in impact, an increase in influence, and in your business's income, right? If you implement what we share with you. I'm super excited to be here. Again, thank you so much, everyone who's jumping on. We're just waiting on a couple more people to jump on from our community. And so thank you. If you can, I want you to go ahead and put in the comments where you're tuning in from. Even if you're watching this recording, you can go ahead in our comment section, go ahead and put where you're tuning in from and you know, how you doing. All right. What matter of fact, where are you tuning in from and what line of business you do, right? Let us know. Okay. Got a couple people. Okay, LA, shout out to you all. San Diego. Okay. Yeah, it's good. I'm actually out here in LA area, California, tuning in, West Coast. But shout out to everyone. Shout out to everyone on the East Coast. I see y'all, some of you all tuning in. Thank you. And so we can go ahead and get started. We'll let anyone else who does join, join us as they do, right? And so again, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being here to our live masterclass, Become the Authority and Attract Your Audience. And before I get started, I want to share with you all a quote that that has been on my heart lately. It's something that I feel like I have to share. It's something that I think you need to hear, right? I think it's really going to set up the stage for today, and it's going to help you receive what we're going to release today. Okay, and it's this. The only limitation that exists is the one we place on ourselves. The only limitation that exists is the one we place on ourselves. And so I actually did some teaching on this during one of our coaching calls within our group and our clients. And it was, I'm not going to dive too deep into this, but essentially, sometimes as business owners, as entrepreneurs, whether you're just getting started or if you're a seasoned business owner, you're looking to scale to 6 figures, 7 figures, multiple 7 figures. We think that the problem that we have is the problem, when in reality, the problem is that we think that whatever we're facing is the problem, right? So it's kind of like this mindset shift, right? It's rather than you seeing what you think is a problem as a problem, see it as an opportunity, right? To help you grow, to become that next level person, to take your business to the next level, right? So who is this for, right? Become the authority and attract your audience. Who's this live masterclass for, right? And it's essentially for the business owner, the entrepreneur who's tired of doing the same thing over and over again, but isn't getting the results that they desire, right? I have an image here of a mouse wheel, right? It literally, you might be consistently posting, or you might be, doing some kind of strategy of trying to do the thing, but you're not getting the results, right? It's kind of like, it might feel like you're rolling a boulder or a huge rock up a hill, and like literally every single day you're doing the thing, but you're not getting the results you desire, right? And so this is for the business owner, the entrepreneur who's looking to scale their business, who wants to create the impact and the influence in their audience, in their community, right? Where it's for the business owner, entrepreneur who wants more, right? They know that they have something inside and that they have a gift, they want to put it out there. And so if they're just getting started, they want to learn how to craft their messaging, how to package their offer, but also for the person who is a seasoned business owner, who has something working, right? They want to know, how is it that I can actually just tweak one or two things to have my, 6-figure breakthrough, my 7-figure breakthrough, right? And so with that, if it's okay with you, I want to share a little bit about myself, right? If this is your first time tuning in, I really want you all to get to know me. And so who is Felipe Rangel, right? I'm a business owner. I'm a business owner, business coach, speaker, and an author, right? But more importantly, I'm a fiance, I'm a brother, I'm a son, and more than just what we do here, right? I am prosperity. But the reason why I want to share some of these things is that as a coach, as a mentor, I believe that in order for me to help you, and if you accept me for the next 45 minutes to 60, to an hour, as your coach, as your mentor, to gain insights to help your business, if you accept me as that mentor, as a coach, I believe I need to, before you can accept me as a coach, as a mentor, I need to show you who I am, right? And so, with that in mind, things weren't always great, right? Like growing up, I have 2 older sisters and a younger brother. We were actually raised by a single mother, right? Our mom, she was born with cerebral palsy. And for those of you who don't know, it's essentially when someone is born, the brain doesn't get enough oxygen. And so that, if you could just imagine, that creates this domino, like this domino effect as she gets older, right? And so growing up, our upbringing was very unique compared to many people, right? And so we growing up, we had many financial hardships. We went through, we faced many adversities, right? And I guess up until a couple of years, I always felt like I wasn't good enough, right? I felt like I wasn't good enough because I believe I essentially made the mistake of confusing my circumstances for who I am. I believe that because I didn't have certain things, that I wasn't good enough, that I couldn't do certain, I couldn't create the impact, I couldn't serve, business owners, I couldn't, share my gift, my value, my unique selling proposition to you and help your business grow. I felt like I wasn't good enough, right? And so how many of you feel like that, right? Whether you are just getting started or are in business, how many have ever felt that way? And this is really just you being honest, right? You don't have to put this in a comment or anything, but I'm sharing this because I was unaware of my inner greatness, right? That's the truth. I was unaware of the greatness that was inside of me. I was unaware of the gift that I have. And I share this because you have a gift. You have a message, right? A message that saves people's lives, right? It helps improve their health. It helps them fix their credit, buy their first home, right? It helps them save their marriage, their gift. But because you feel, right, like you're not good enough, you feel like maybe you don't have what it takes, you don't go ahead and put it out there. Right. So literally we're getting in our own way, right? Because of what we grew up hearing or whatever it may be, experiences, we are putting our stuff out there. right? And so one thing that I love sharing with people is that we weren't born into wealth, right? We weren't born into wealth, but wealth is going to come from us, right? You know, we weren't, my mom, our parents, whatever, you know, we weren't born millionaires, but a millionaire is going to come out of us. And so I share that because that's going to happen for you too, if that's what you desire. Okay. And so now that you know a little bit about me, I want to share with you what are the three things I'm going to cover today that are going, right, that are going to help take your business to the next level, right? And the first is this: you are the one, right? I think this is a key principle, especially for anyone who's just getting started or is even a seasoned business owner that wants to take their impact and influence to the next level. You are the one framework that we share is going to help you do that, right? The next is becoming the authority. This is literally like the meat and potatoes, right, of today's live masterclass. It's going to help you position yourself, your offer, your brand as the authority so that you can attract your audience. And then lastly is that as you start building that traction, or if you already have some traction, understanding that sales is very simple. You just have to be able to understand what it is to be able to attract more audience. Okay. So who's ready, by the way? I just want to make sure. Who's ready to get something, right? Let me know, put in the comments if you're excited. Let me know if this is resonating with you, okay? Let me know. So you are the one, right? This is a God principle, right? And if you could just imagine, I want you to just kind of imagine here for a moment. There are about 8 billion, I think maybe a little more than 8, right? But just 8 billion people in this world, right? And in the world of these 8 billion people, everyone is going through some kind of hardship. They have a problem, right? They have something that they need to get solved. They need a solution, right, for it, right? Whether it's, you know, they're struggling with bad health, right? In the Latino community, so many people struggle with diabetes, right? So many of my own family, you know, aunts, uncles, grandparents, literally live their entire life with diabetes, right? Not only that, but some people, as I mentioned kind of earlier, is that some people are trying to buy their first home, but they don't know the ins and outs, right? They're trying to improve their credit, but have no idea what to do, right? Or even if it has to do with their relationships with themselves, right? Their self-image, or if they're trying to improve their relationship with their family, their kids, their wife, their partner, whoever it is, right? They are struggling, right? They have this problem, something that's keeping them up at night, but there's only one person, and that is you. There's the person that is meant to help serve that audience, right? You are here, right? You are the only you in this world, right? There's about 8+ billion people in this world, but there's only one you. And I believe that we are all put here on this earth for a purpose, right? We have a purpose greater than our own self. Like we have desires and, you know, things like that, but we also have a gift in us, right? A message, an ability, or something that comes easy to us, right? But that that gift isn't just for us. It's actually is meant to be used to serve others, right? So you are the only one that can do that. And so before we kind of move on, I really want to hone in on this. And if you're watching this live, you know, if you're driving, don't do it. Just listen in. Or if you're watching the recording, just kind of pause and then do it, you know, so right? So what I want you to do is that I want you to tap on your chest, right, as we do this. But essentially, I want you to start embodying that I am the one, right? And so what I want you to do is I am the one, right? And then kind of just tap, I'm the one. I am the business owner, right? I am the businesswoman that's meant here to serve, you know, your audience, right? What is it that you do? I am the one. I am the business owner that's gonna save my family from X. I'm the business owner that's gonna help uplift my audience, my clients. I'm the businesswoman that's gonna help scale my clients to 6 and 7 figures. I am the businesswoman that's gonna help you know, first generation home buyers or whatever buy their first home with my blueprint. I am the one. I am the one, right? And so I want you to do that. Take some time, maybe about a minute or so to do this. But this is really to help you start accepting the responsibility, right, of I am the one, of you being the one, right? You are literally here, and there's no other person that can serve your audience the way that you can, right? You have to start walking in your purpose if you aren't already, right? And I'm going to share with you something after this that's going to like literally break down any fears or objections that you're already kind of going through to help you put your gift out. Okay, so let me know in the comments. You can go ahead and put this in the comments who you are, right? If you didn't already do it, you can put, I am the what, I am the business owner, I am the, real estate agent, I am the what, and who is it that you serve, right? Walk in your purpose, right? Beautiful. So the next thing, and this is really to help start, even diving deeper, is that the biggest roadblock you will ever face is yourself. Right? The biggest roadblock you will ever face is yourself. And I know that's a little hard. I'm not attacking you. I'm just sharing this because, again, the biggest problem that people think they're facing is the one that they're facing now, when in reality, the problem isn't the problem. It's how they see what the situation is as the problem. And so if you become more, right, you won't see that thing that's holding you down as a problem. You won't see it as adversity. You won't see it as hardship, but you'll see it as an opportunity for you to become more, right? And so just to kind of illustrate this, right? I have an image here, right? I have two images here. One on the right side of a mom with her baby. It's a newborn baby. And on the right side, an index card with the word unlimited, right? And if you could just imagine, right, there's a newborn baby, right? I actually have a niece. She's about she's going to be three years next, in a couple months, right? She's 3 years old. And I kid you not, she's a genius. I personally, I might be biased, but I truly believe she's a genius. She's amazing. She's a phenomenal leader, right? And the thing is that when you were younger, when you were a kid, when I was a kid, right? When we were born, when we have newborns, right? We are born as a blank slate, right? We have no idea of what we can or can't do. There's no such thing as limitations, right? Does that make sense? Right? There was no such thing as a limitation for me when I was a little kid, right? I truly believe I could be a Spider-Man, the Hulk. I wanted to be a police officer, firefighter, a professional soccer player, and so on and so forth, right? I wanted to do that and so much more. And never in my time of growing up did I ever question my abilities. But as we become adults, what happens is we start experiencing things. We start hearing people that know, like, and that are close to us and that love us, and tell us things like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe that's, are you sure you should? I don't know if you can do that, right? And so we start hearing these things and we start creating what I call this mental box, this mental prison, right? Which limits us. Our ability to do things is limited because of what we hear and what we see, right? And so thinking about this, I want to share with you 3 things that if you can break free from these 3 things, if you can let go of them, I guarantee you it's going to help you increase the impact that you have in your life, in your family's life, in your business, right? If you just go ahead and implement this, right? And just become aware of it. So the first thing is this: the tall poppy syndrome. This is really for the business owner who is doing something that has something that is working and that they're looking to scale. This is for the business owner that maybe is trying to start something that you're going to encounter as you grow, right? And it's essentially this, right? If you could imagine, I know I have it on the slides here, right? Is a field of poppy flowers, right? And if you could just imagine this field of poppy flowers, right? It's just this field of flowers, and certain poppy flowers will grow bigger than others, right? Like if you could just imagine, right? You have some that are just this height, some might grow a little taller. What happens is when that tall pop, that when that poppy flower grows higher than the others, what it meant, like if you could connect this to yourself, when you as a business owner, you as an entrepreneur start committing, you like you're literally walking in your purpose, you've accepted the responsibility of being the one, you're going to serve your audience, and you're going to have to learn certain things. You have to learn about branding, marketing, sales, operations. You're going to learn how to create content or marketing material for your audience, right? There's going to be people, maybe people that are close, family, friends, co-workers, whoever it is, that are going to start looking at you differently. Like, oh, look at her, look at him. He's this, he's that, she's this, she's that. And with the tall poppy syndrome is that people will look at you differently, will say things to help bring you down, to cut you so that you come down. Because again, when you start outgrowing people, it makes them uncomfortable. And this isn't to discourage you or anything. It's just to help you become aware, right? You're going to have people, right? And I've had this experience with family, you just kind of talk a little less, but you see that, you feel it. Now, again, just become aware, because if your circle starts looking at you differently, because again, their vision might be different for themselves, you need to become aware of anyone trying to drag you down, okay? The next is this, the gap, right? I think this is really key for any business owner who's, making 6 figures, 7 figures, or who's looking to scale, right? In general, many business owners and entrepreneurs will, the way they determine their progress is by looking at where they are today and comparing it to where they want to be, right? Like my goal for this year is I want to make 6 figures. I want to make multi 7 figures, right? I want to launch this. I want to build my offer. X, Y, and Z, whatever it is, right? I want to do a partnership with a brand. And so you're here, but this is where you want to be. And so that gap, what happens is it creates this constant feeling that you're never getting there. And of course, you're going to get there. You're going to get closer and closer every single day, week, month, and so on and so forth to hit your goals. But instantly, when you hit that goal, you create a new gap, right? And so I'll say this: it is great to use the gap to implement it, but don't rely on it, because what happens is that you're going to create these feelings of you're never getting there. You're never going to hit your goals, right? Although you are. What I do invite you to think about and even implement is this: rather than looking at and comparing where you are to where you want to be, compare where you started and compare to where you are today. And so if I was to do that, let me tell you, I have come very, very, very far, and I'm proud. Now, I'm definitely going to continue, and I'm going to grow, and I have, a vision for our business, but I'm just sharing that to help you, because that's when you do that, when you compare with where you started to where you are today, it's going to boost you. It's going to create the emotion, the energy, the emotion inside of you that you need to help keep going, right? Let me know if that's helpful. Let me know if either of these two you can kind of resonate to it. Let me know, and be honest, right? This is to help you, right? And the last is this, and I know this might hit someone real hard, but I have to share this, right? I have to share this, right? The biggest roadblock you will ever face, and this is the last one, is your ego, right? I think as a business coach and working with many different business owners, clients, entrepreneurs, things like that, I've come to realize that at a certain point, in order to help you get to the next level, whatever that looks like for you, for your business, for your brand, your journey, at a certain point, you are going to have to accept another business woman or businessman into your life to help you get to the next level, right? Because that coach, that mentor is going to help you see things that you don't see, right? I believe that as business owners and entrepreneurs, we have blind spots, right? And so what we think might be working, yeah, sure, it might work and it might be giving you results, but there's always a better way, and there might be things that you can't see because you're too close to yourself, that a coach can help you. Now, your ego, right, your pride is going to keep you from wanting to ask for help, to accept someone, right, outside of you to provide you with the support and the insights and strategies to take your business to the next level. Okay. So let me know if that's helpful. I really hope that's helpful. I am going to jump into becoming the authority, right? The meats and potatoes. But again, we created this masterclass to very intentionally, right? If before I can share with you the insights, the strategies, the tools, right, to create the right marketing message, to package your offer, to be able to launch your product, your service, your coaching, whatever it is, I have to explain to you what happens before all that, right? Because if I explain to you this insight, this tool, this strategy, but if you don't believe it, maybe because of the tall poppy syndrome, the gap, or whatever it is, and other things, you won't be able to implement. Okay. So let me know if any of those were helpful. Okay. So before I begin sharing with you, become the authority and attract your audience, let me know if it's okay with you all, if I can get a raise of hands. How many of you would be okay if I share with you a tried and true success formula? A universal, this is based on principles, right? Kind of like the law of gravity. Earlier, I'm right here in our studio, and we had some fruits fall off our tree. Now, if I took that same tree, like that fruit tree, planted it and grew it in Florida, in New York, in Alabama, in Chicago, wherever, that same principle would apply to those fruits, and they would fall, right? And so how many of you would want to know a formula, a universal, right, tried and true success formula that you can apply to business, to life, and to your relationships, and even to your health, right? How many of you would want that? Okay, beautiful. I love it. I love it. And again, we want to share something that's going to help you, that is going to make the difference in your life and in your business, right? So here it is. The success formula is this: be, do, have, right? It is be, do, have. Have refers to your desire, your goals, right? I want the new house. I want the car. I want better health. I want I want I'm blanking here. I want a fiance. I want a wife. There you go. I want a wife. I want a husband. I want a great relationship with my family. I want, whatever it is. The have refers to your goals, right? And in order to get that, you have to do things to get it, right? Does that make sense? Right? So in order to get, like, as the example I love to give is, I want to be the fastest runner in the world, right? And in order for me to get there, in order for me to be as fast as Usain Bolt, I need to do things, right, to get them. That makes sense, right? Straight, clear, beautiful. Okay. Now, some of those things might be, I need to do, I need to practice every day. I maybe do strength training, give up, junk food, eat better foods, all that stuff. We understand that. I'm sure you probably do. Some people have a hard time actually doing those things, but no worries. I figure here, if you're on here, you understand this. The issue is that most people, including you, that make the mistake is that they forget this. And it is the being, right? It's the essence, right? If going back to my example, let's say I wanted to be the fastest runner in the world, I have to do X, Y, and Z, right? I have to do things. But if I am a lazy person, I will never be able to commit long enough to do the things that are required that get the stuff. Does that make sense? And so you as a business owner, you as an entrepreneur, you have goals. You have things that you want to accomplish in your business, right? I want to hit a 6-figure month. I want to hit a 7-figure year, whatever it is, right? You have to do things. But if you don't if you aren't the business owner that can steward a 7-figure business, you will never be able to do the things that are required that get the stuff. So before I share the insights, before I share with you the things that are going to make the difference, I want you to think about, rather than focusing on the doing, the strategies, right? Maybe the question is, who do I need to become to attract the right audience? Who do I need to become to run a successful 7-figure business? Who do I need to be? Who do I need to attract? Who do I need to bring on our business to help create an ecosystem, right? Does that make sense? I really hope that this is helping someone. Like I truly do. And if you implement this, I guarantee you it's going to make all the difference, right? And I wanted to add this last point here. It doesn't take a long time to build a successful business. It takes time to become the person, right? Because once you become the person, right, you're going to be able to implement all the systems, the strategies that it takes to have a 6-figure launch, a 7-figure launch, right? Month in, month out. But if you aren't the person, you won't even be able to receive the things that I'm going to share with you. Okay. So I really hope this is helpful. Let me know if anyone has a question. I just want to make sure I'm being mindful. I don't want to. Okay, I think. Okay, I'll go ahead and answer the questions just to make sure I'm mindful of everyone's time. Okay, so becoming the authority. Becoming the authority and attracting your audience, right? I think, and then this is one of the key points to our framework of becoming the authority. It is that, and this is an activity that I want you to go ahead and do. So if you haven't already, I invite you, pause this or just take a quick moment, get a piece of paper and a pen, right? And I want you to do a T-chart, right? T-chart. On the left side, I want you to put my ideal client is not, right? And on the right side, I want you to put my ideal client is, right? And this is something that I got from one of my mentors, Amanda Moxley, from one of her Masterclass trainings, right? And so essentially it's this. The issue with most business owners and entrepreneurs isn't the systems. It isn't having the right copy. It isn't, maybe the copy, sure. But there's things that we think that we need when in reality, it's that we just lack clarity. And what I want you to go ahead and do is this. I want you to go ahead, once you created that T-chart, I want you to write out on the left side who your ideal client is not, right? Because I think when we lack, if you're a business owner who's anywhere making, $0 to $250,000, what we like to teach is having the clarity, right? We believe you just have to focus on having the clarity of who you serve, right? Because once you know who you serve, you're going to have the marketing messages. You're going to be able to create the offers because you know what their pains are. You know what they need, right? So what I want you to do on the left side is this. And this is just an example that I'm just going to give, right? My ideal client is not. My ideal client is not someone who is a freeple, someone who loves free things. Like all they want is to collect information and then that's it. My ideal client is not someone who doesn't take action, who procrastinates. My ideal client is not someone who doesn't take responsibility, right? And you can go ahead and add this up, right? My ideal client is, however, is someone who is motivated, who takes massive action, who takes responsibility, who is always growing and learning and wants to go to the next level, right? And is happy and ready to work with us, right? That's my ideal client, right? So go ahead and do that because it's going to make the difference. And again, I invite you to do this because in the next steps, it's all going to tie together. It's all one, right? It's all one. It really is, right? So do that. So as you go ahead and do that, I want you to go ahead and put this in the comments. Who are you serving, right? And who are you not serving, right? Because the thing is, actually, I'm gonna hold off because I'm already gonna get ahead of myself. And so the next thing within this is that think about what niche you're in, right? There's really only three niches, right? There is health, wealth, and relationships, right? This is essentially refers to the type of transformation you can provide, right? And so if you're a real estate agent or you're someone who helps fix credit, or a lender, broker, whatever, you're in the wealth space. If you're a financial planner, you're in that wealth space. You provide some kind of transformation within the wealth aspect, right? If you're a if you're a gym coach, someone to help them lose weight, gain muscle, you sell supplements, different diet styles, whatever it is, you're in that health transformation, right? And then in relationships, that can refer to the mindset, that can refer to relationship within themselves, relationships with their family, their kids, their wife, their partner, whoever it is, right? The relationships aspect, right? An emotional transformation. So with that, think about what niche are you in, right? Get the clarity to understand who and what kind of transformation you provide, right? And so thinking about that, now that you have clarity, I want you to understand this. Your messaging is magnetic. So whenever you're posting content, whenever you're creating marketing material, whenever you're putting out a message out there to your audience, I want you to know that you're attracting people, you're attracting audience members, you're attracting people that might be potential customers, right? The thing is, this, are you just attracting the wrong audience, right? Most business owners and entrepreneurs, because they lack that clarity, right? Because when they communicate their message, when they communicate their offer to the world, to their audience, right? They lack clarity. And so they're literally attracting everyone, right? And a message, as my mentor said, and an offer for everyone is an offer for no one, right? You have to be clear on who you're serving, right? Rather than saying, hey, friends, hey, whatever, who wants, who's interested in buying my offer? Be clear and say, hey, business owners, how many of you are struggling with X, Y, or Z, right? Hey, online business owners, how many of you are tired of struggling with creating content, with, messaging that doesn't move masses, right? Whatever it is, right? When you become clear, you start attracting the right people. And so the thing is, you might be attracting people, but because your lack of clarity, you're attracting the wrong audience. And when it comes down to your sales pitch, your offer, however you share that, whatever your system is, they will never buy, because there's an incongruency, right? It just won't match. Now they might be able to go ahead and get to the end, but it just doesn't match at the end. And if you're having that issue, I invite you to go back and make sure you do that activity, right? Get the clarity that you need, because it's going to take your business to the next level, and it's going to make all the difference. All right. So how many of you want to hear 5 messaging transformation tips, right? That I guarantee that if you implement, I guarantee you that the impact that you have on your audience is going to increase like no other. How many of you want that? Okay, beautiful. So the first is this, right? When we first started, we talked about accepting the responsibility and walking in your purpose, right? As a business owner, and as the business owner that you are the one that's going to serve your audience, realize that you need to become an expert at what they are going through. Right? What is keeping up your audience member up? Like what your potential client, right? They're out there. What's keeping them up at night, right? And the reason why you want to know this is because you want to, in order to transform your messaging, right? To attract more qualified customers, you need to speak to their pain, right? And part of becoming the authority, right? You need to be able to speak to your audience in a way that they already are thinking in here, right? And so if you can speak to their pain, like an example that I like to give is, let's say right now, in the last couple of weeks, I started eating food, and I started after I eat, I get very bloated, right? And it's been a bit uncomfortable, but up until yesterday, it went from being a bit uncomfortable to like I can't even sleep. When I eat, I get bloated, but then after I drink a tea or something, it goes away, and so on and so forth, right? But now I can't even sleep, so this is unbearable. I hate it. And what happens is, if you position yourself as the authority and speak to your client's pain, right? Imagine I'm right here. Let's say you're in that position, right? You've been bloated, now you can't sleep. And I go and I put a message out there, right? Hey, fellow, teenager, hey, fellow person, hey, mom, hey, husband, whatever, whoever you're speaking to. Are you tired of feeling bloated, right? Are you someone who, after each meal, you instantly get bloated, and then after you drink a tea or whatever, you feel better? And as you say that, right? As you say that, people are going to already, like, you're going to catch their attention, because again, that's what they're going through, right? And so that is part of becoming an authority. And so if I went to the doctor, right, and I went to the doctor and like, hey doctor, I'm bloated, and whatever, and if he explained, or if she explained it to me just exactly as I did right there, I would instantly listen to them. Whatever they said, oh, hey, you need to start eating more carrots, right? Or you need to stop eating X food, or squeeze a lemon and do this dance. I'm like, okay, I'll do it, because they've already received my trust in them, because they already know what I'm kind of going through, right? The next, and this is really connected to this, is that people are always looking for validation, right? People are always looking for validation as to what they're going through. And so if you can speak to your audience wherever they are, right, you will instantly get considered, you will, in their eyes, they'll see you as an expert. They'll see you as a subject matter expert, as an authority, right? When you validate what they're going through, when you say what they're going through, right? Oh, hey, have you lately been feeling bloated after every meal? And more importantly, more recently, started having a hard time sleeping after eating, meats or whatever. They're going to instantly listen to you and pay attention, because again, you're validating what they're going through, right? The next is this, and let me know if this is helpful, by the way. The next is this, and I have to share this with you, because depending on who you serve, right, whoever your market is that you have to stop saying broke people stories. You have to stop saying broken people stories, right? And the reason being is that if you're saying broke people stories or broken people stories, when it comes down to sharing your offer of, hey, you know what, I'm going to help you build wealth, or hey, I'm going to help you transform your life, whatever your transformation is, whatever niche you're in, a broke person or a broken person will always find a way to either say, this isn't for me, I don't have the money, or this will never work for me. Right? So again, your messaging is magnetic. You just have to become aware of what you're putting out there, because if you're telling broke people stories, you're going to attract broken people stories, right? Let me know if that makes sense. Okay, let me know if that makes sense. All right, the next is this: take people on a journey, right? One thing that I've, and this is something that is coming up even more in our business, is that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust, right? But you're not putting out marketing material, content, you're not creating the community, you're not nurturing your audience, right? What you have to do, and this is a way I like to explain this, is this: if you could imagine, right, this is just like flat land, and then there's this hill up here, right? There's like this hill or whatever. You're up here because you're the expert, you've overcome something, you have the solution, whatever it is. Your audience is down here. what you need to do, rather than speak from a place of authority, or not from a place of authority, but from a place of being up here, having done things, you might, and I get a way that may look is that you might say, hey, you are greatness, you can build wealth, you can do these things. Understand that your audience who's down here isn't able to understand that, right? They just don't see that. And so what you want to do, if you're someone who's gone through certain things, like, right, let's say you provide a health transformation, right, to become fit, fab, and fabulous, you help them increase their muscle mass, lose weight, whatever it is, and you're someone who struggled at first, right? What you want to do is you want to explain to them, oh, I understand what you're going through, right? Again, about the validation, there people are always looking for validation. If you can walk them through your own journey, they will be able to see themselves. Because I'm gonna share a key point in terms of sales when this comes up. But people buy from things where a key thing that people take into account when they buy something is that they need to know that this is going to work for them. And if you can show them, hey, I understand what it feels like when you don't believe in yourself, right? Because when I first started working on my health, or I went on this journey, I struggled too, right? When they can relate to that, it makes more of a community, a bonding experience, right? It's more than just, here, buy my offer, buy my 6 weeks coaching program, buy my recipe book, buy my thing. No. This is, we're going through this together. And then that creates a raving fan. Okay. And then the last thing is this: never say a point without a story, right? And never say a story without a point. And so, as an example, I mean, hopefully you've been kind of catching on with the last couple points that I shared, but every point that I shared, I try to create or add a story, or for every story that I add, I make sure I make it concise and add a point, right? Because people, you have, and this is kind of part of the human psychology, people learn better when you give them a story, right? As I've been speaking the last couple of 40-ish minutes or whatever, as I speak and I show these images on our slides, your mind probably went kind of blank, and you started imagining things and like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, I resonate to this. I remember that one time when I did this, right? Or, you know what, growing up, he or she did tell me that I wasn't, whatever, right? That's part of it. In order to make sure that people are receiving what you're sharing, never say a point without a story, and never say a story without a point. Okay. So let me know. I really want to know if has this been helpful. Let me know. You can put this in the comment. I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat real fast. Okay. Yes, definitely. Beautiful. I love it. Of course. Okay. And so I do want to share. I thank you so much for the comments. Make sure you implement, right? Because the thing is this: you can go ahead and learn all the strategies, the insights, the system, but if you don't take massive action, there's no way you're going to get what you desire, right? And so, moving on, I want to go ahead and share with you our last key point today, and it is this: understanding sales simplified, right? As you start implementing these strategies, you start becoming more aware, you gain the clarity of who you're serving, and you start building that traction, or even if you have that traction, becoming more aware of sales, right? Because in business, making money is easy. Now, I know some of you might find that a little hard. Your mind is already, saying something. No worries. Understand that in order for your business to grow, in order for this to be a successful business, your successful business, you need to have sales, right? And that is the only way to grow your business. If not, you're just it's an unsustainable hobby, or whatever you want to call it, right? I invite you to accept a new idea that I received this year, and that I am now accepting, is that making money is easy. Making money is easy, right? Making money is easy. And I'm not going to dive too deep into how and why all this stuff, but I invite you to believe that and accept this, because if you believe that making money is hard, you're going to find ways, whether you know this or not, you're going to find and create ways that is hard to make money, right? If you believe making money is hard, you're going to find ways to find ways that are hard to make money. If that makes sense, right? As I mentioned, sales are critical to growing your business, right? But more importantly, sales has nothing to do with your worth. Sales has nothing to do with your worth, right? And so when you're depending on what systems and strategies you use to share your offer, you provide the education and things like that. When a customer or potential customer doesn't buy from you or says no to your offer, it has nothing to do with you. It has nothing to do with your worth. It has nothing to do with the offer. It just has to. They didn't invest in themselves through your system, through your offer, right? You are a bridge, right? Your audience is here and you are here, right? This is a transformation. Your system is the bridge. If they can't see themselves, and this is a kind of the point that I was trying to get at earlier, is that people, a key thing or key point that people take into account in whether they buy or not is if they believe that this is for them and that it'll work for them. Now, I'm not going to dive into this because this is my team's going to get mad at me. But if you learn how to make sure you answer that question for them in your education and your presentation and your class and whatever, right, to show that this is for them, that this works for them and it will for them, they will buy, right? But these are things that you have to become aware. It has nothing to do with you or your work, right? It just has to do with your delivery and education. So with that, how many of you want to know the 3 reasons why people buy, right? How many of you want to know why 3 reasons why people buy, right? Sales is simple. Once you become aware of reasons why people buy, it's going to make things even easier for you, right? One of the reasons why people buy is this: they desire to buy. And I know you're like, but what do you mean? That's so simple, right? But see, that's the thing. They desire to buy. And so rather than just looking at that or hearing it, it's like, okay, well, I know that. In business, in your business, in your marketing, however you pitch your offer and stuff like that, maybe a question to think about is, how can I create an environment that creates the desire to want to buy my offer, right? There's this saying, the horse, right? You can walk a horse down to the river, but you can't make the horse drink water, right? Something along those lines. Well, you can think of this, right? You can educate your audience in a certain way, but you can't force them to buy, right? You can only guide them to the offer, right? Your solution, right? So the question for you is this: how can you create an environment that creates the desire in the people listening in the room, right, to want to buy your offer, to want to work with you, to take on your coaching, your programming, your services, your offer, your product? How? Okay. The next is this. The reason why people buy is they are done dealing with their pain. They are done dealing with their pain, right? As that example that I gave about the being bloated and then not being able to sleep. If there's someone who has not had good sleep for a weeks, up to I don't know, how much we can handle, but let's just say days, right? A person will pay whatever it is to buy your ingredients, your shake, your pin needle, body chiropractic thing to help them sleep better because they're tired of their pain. And the thing is this: if you connect becoming the authority and becoming the expert of your audience, of what they're going through, if you can paint and validate what they're going through in a way, you're going to highlight to them, right, what their pain is. You're going to remind them of what they're already going through and what they hate. And then you position your offer, your sale. Oh, but here's the solution. Go ahead, and if you want to learn more, make sure to book a call, right? Does that make, let me know if that makes sense, by the way. I really hope someone's picking this up, right? And the last one is this: they value the transformation more than the money, right? Again, kind of tying that with that example is, if you're someone who you haven't had sleep in a couple of days, weeks, or whatever, man, I will pay whatever it takes to have great sleep, right? If it means buying a $10,000 bed or drinking a 10,000, whatever it is, you're going to buy it. And so if you can help, again, help educate your audience, right? Create that environment for them to hit these 3 key points. Simple is going to be simplified. The sales are going to come in, right? So, and again, I know I highlighted this, but I want to go ahead and ask it again for you, is this: how can you create a buying environment? How can you create a buying environment? Okay. I'm gonna skip this because I know this is for my I'm just gonna skip that because I know my team is gonna hate me if I do. But I do want to finish off here. I do want to say thank you so much for being on here. I want to share these key points. And then, by the way, I forgot to mention this. Shout out to everyone who did stay until the end. I am going to go ahead, for anyone who has stayed until the end, I'm going to share with you our ebook, The Top 5 Mistakes Entrepreneurs Make While Growing Their Business. I'm just going to share with you how to do this. But essentially what you want to do, if you're watching the recording or if you're within a community, comment below top 5 mistakes, right? Just to top 5 mistakes in the comments, and then we'll have someone in our team send you the link to the ebook. Okay. All right. So bringing it back is just my finishing thoughts is that if you're someone who's just getting started, or if you're a business owner who has something working, but you're trying to take it to the next level, you're trying to scale to multiple 6 figures, you're trying to scale to 7 figures, I want you to understand that disaster follows intention. And when you leave today after this live masterclass and you say, you know what, Felipe has a point, like that key point that he shared, I'm going to implement, or whatever it is, I want to, use your strategy. I want you to understand that disaster follows intention. And there's going to be things that come up that seem like a problem, but is just part of the journey, right? Don't think that whatever might come and look like it's holding you back, like an obstacle. Don't mistake that as a something that's meant to hold you back. It's actually part of the process, and it's actually a sign that you're going in the right direction, right? The next is you must be willing to dream big, right? I invite everyone to dream big, because the thing is, if any of you have ever read the book, the Power of Positive Thinking, it takes the same amount of energy to think a small thought as it does to think a big thought, right? And if you're thinking about building a business, or you're trying to scale, when you start thinking about $250,000 to $500,000, right? It's kind of about the same. And if you're at $500,000, why not just bump it up to $1 million, right? And if you're at $1 million, honestly, why not just bump it up to 5 to 10, right? Because as you start scaling, just things get easier. You just have to have the right systems in place, right? The next is this: take risks. Allow yourself to take risks. So many people fear the fear of failure. And I guess I'll just even add the last point is that allow yourself to fail, right? I think in the educational system, right, K through 12, and even in college, we're taught to fear failure, right? But in reality, in business, in entrepreneurship, in your journey, right, you're going to fail many times. Like, this is me being honest, as a coach, as a mentor, I'm telling you, you're going to fail. Now, if you're not failing, you're not even trying. The thing is this: failure is part of the success journey. So rather than fearing it and being like, but what if no one shows up? What if this? What if that? What if I don't have the right camera, the lighting, X, Y, or Z? Understand, it is all part of the process. And you have to go through it to get what you desire, right? They say, in order to get something, you have to go through something, right? Allow yourself to fail, right? And so with that, I want to say thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. If you stayed again until the end, and you want access to our free ebook, The Top 5 Mistakes Entrepreneurs Make While Growing Their Business, go ahead and comment below, comment in the community, top 5 mistakes, right? And then also, if you want, go ahead and comment your key takeaway from today, okay? let me know what your key takeaway was from today. Okay, thank you.